CH. The one say was like 465, right?
No, 365.
365.
Hello and welcome, I'm Tim and this is SV Paquita. And we are still in Mindelo. We are not in the same spot that you saw us last time because the Popo came and kicked us out. I don't think I told you that last time. Did I tell you that story? So, if I didn't, I don't know. Anyway, we were there. You see that ship? We were right in front of him. And we had been there for 2 or 3 days. Everything was cool. And then a little boat came up with some people in it, some officials, and they're like, yeah, you got to move. But they were, you know, they obviously, they spoke Creole and we speak English, so it was a little difficult. But at first we thought that that the people ahead of us who had just come in had complained. I thought that's what they were saying, but then it turned out that wasn't it. It was that they thought that we were too close to where the ferries come back and forth. But you see that green buoy right there? We're way inside the buoy. Anyway, we're not really wanting to fight with anybody, but we went to go and go heave up and haul the anchor and do the right thing and anchor somewhere else. And the windlass was all messed up. So, Bob to the rescue. We put him in the hole 2 or 3 hours later. I don't know that he broke. I think it would have happened to anybody. Anyway, yeah, a couple hours later, we had it all working. It's working great. Here's Chrysalida. And so let me just kind of show you what's happening here. So we moved up here and we re-anchored, and well, you can't even see it, but you remember, viewers of the channel might remember that I had to replace a right angle drive, and there was a plug that I had to put in that water was dripping into the right angle drive and ruined the last one. Well, that plug was for a magnetic Hall effect sensor. Unfortunately, I don't, and you do that for a chain counter. About 4 years ago, I bought a chain counter that was made by Lumar from Defender, and it's supposed to fit everything. And of course, it wasn't the same one for Muir winches. And the way a Hall effect sensor works is there's a pickup over here, and then you put a magnet in it, and every time the magnet goes around, it figures out how far you've gone. So, and it involves drilling out a piece of the Wildcat and epoxying the Hall effect sensor in. The piece of the Wildcat, you have to epoxy or in our case, I think we 5200 the magnet in there. And then had to run the wire all the way down. And I don't know, I'm sure that every sailboat is like this, but the way Island Packet does its hull to deck joint, it makes a really nice channel that you can, it's a wire chase. And so there's a whole bunch of wires tucked in there, and we were able to use my favorite tool on board, which is this fiberglass electrician's snake, and run all the wire back for the control, for the sensor there, bring it around here, down through into Rune's room, up here, and look at this. Bob put this in. Point to it, Bob, because they don't know which one it is. That right there. And so right now it's at 0 because we can't zero it out because we're at anchor. But once we get it done, we'll wind it up, zero it out. Right now, Bob is calibrating it.
I think I'm done.
You think you're done?
Yeah, so I guess we could.
Were you were able to put in the 365?
Yeah, 14 and a half, but it's actually in inches.
Wow! Oh, excellent, good deal.
It said it was in the thing of the book.
So in other words, depending on the size of your Wildcat and the size of your chain and all that, what they do is they have you mark the side of the Wildcat and then mark your deck and mark the chain, make one revolution and see the distance between the two, and then he entered that in. And so hopefully, if everything works out right, we won't be able to know this until we get ready to go. We'll haul up the anchor, we'll zero it out, and we'll probably, for fun, we'll drop the anchor again to try it out. But the idea is that you can see not only how many feet you have out, but when if I'm hauling it up alone here, it'll start beeping as I get to the end so that you don't pull the anchor through the bow and all that sort of stuff. So is it necessary? Absolutely not. Is it cool and a fun Tim game? 100%. So we're doing that. But one thing that I didn't show you, look at Rune here. Rune is exhausted because he has been shining all of the stainless. Rune is relentless. He just goes up and works, wind's blowing. Now it's not, and it's nice now. All day long it's been blowing. He goes and it's funny. Everyone thinks stainless is stain-free, but that would be stain-free. This is stainless. So after, salt, these things are underwater all the time. You can see there's still some salt on the windshield and the Stratoglass there. But no, it gets like tarnished, and he's been working on that all day long. So that's been pretty cool. So the boys went out on a mission yesterday. Bob, do you want to talk about what you found when you went to the top of the mountain and you made reservations?
Yeah, we found a nice local restaurant, but we asked to see the menu. There is no menu. Then you just get what you're given. So we're going there.
And what was the thing you said to Rune?
What did I say to Rune?
When they said there is no menu, he told me yesterday.
I'm blank now.
He told me yesterday that he said, yeah, can we see a menu? And they said there is no menu. And he turns to Rune and says, Tim would love this.
Yeah. Tim would love this place.
I do like a local place, and I do like trying new things. And so anyway, they made reservations, and then when we talked to our man Franklin, Rasta Franklin, he said it's a good place and that they even have music there. But the Irish bar at the bottom of the hill has music too, so it's going to be a fun night tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to keep up, and like I say, if we're eating at 7:30, we're getting mighty close to my bedtime. But yeah, so it's Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday. Sunday is the day that we're supposed to spend the day with a tour with Franklin, Rasta Franklin. He's going to take us to his hood, where I guess you wouldn't really want to go all the time, as that's what he says anyway. But with him, we'll be totally safe, and he'll make sure everything's cool. But they're having their warm up to the little barrio version of the Carnival, but they call it something else. But it's supposed to be music and dancing and all kinds of good stuff. So it should be an all-day celebration. I hope to bring you guys along with that. So hopefully that will be cool. But anyway, we're trying to leave Monday, and usually I like to leave at the crack of in the morning, right away. But I don't think that's going to happen this time, because I've been thinking about it. If we've got 2,400 miles to go, it doesn't really matter what time we leave. And as far as the weather seems like it's going to be the same no matter what we do. The first couple of days are going to be really rolly, and then after that it should get better and better and better. So that's all good. And if it doesn't matter what time to go, I'm waiting to Monday to leave, because we have to go and get with the we have to check out. Our paperwork is still at customs, or the maritime police, and we have to check out with the immigration. So all that has to be done during business hours. And I also figured too that everything is apparently closed on Sunday, so it might be good for us to do a big shop, Monday morning to fill up with freshies and all that. What are you boys looking at?
Oh, someone looks like someone's fit sails out. Yeah,
someone
trying to make sense out here.
Trying
to drop it.
Oh yeah, look at that. There's a boat up there with a head sail out. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Yeah, that's a real problem. Sometimes, actually, it might have just unrolled. That's a thing that I've made a couple of videos about this, where when I'd leave the boat and go back to work for 3 weeks, you'd see me. I had this Dyneema lines that I would tie off to each furler so it can't unroll, because that's a common thing where the headline will just start spooling out and then the boat starts to sail, or destroy it. So I bet that's what's happening, because I don't see anybody out on deck. Do you see anybody?
Yeah, they're all on deck.
Oh, they are working it.
Drama there.
Okay.
There's probably stuck up and they can't get it down.
Are you saying they're stuck up?
Yes.
The
The Germans.
Is it German?
Germans. Yes.
So,
Well, anyway, that's the excitement from the anchorage. That's what we've been doing all day. Runa's been cleaning. Me and Bob and I have been running wires. We got everything all set. Now we're all set. Now we're just waiting to... Oh, and we also brought a whole bunch of laundry in. And we brought that in yesterday. And a lady took it. And she washed it at home and folded it. Dried it and folded it and brought it back. It was $25 for like 3 big bags of laundry. So I thought that was pretty good. Give Crystalita. Usually Crystalita does all the laundry here, but because it uses a lot of water and we didn't want to make water here in Mindelo, so we gave Crystalita a break. But that's about it. Anyway, wish us luck. Hopefully we won't need too much luck. But if you're worried about us and if you want to help pay for our bail, smash that super thanks button because we might get in trouble tonight. Anyway, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, smash that super thanks button. Thank you for all of those that have done that. It's a big help. And thank you to all the patrons out there. I'll put a link in the description if you want to become a patron. And we will have another update for you tomorrow, and I'll let you know how that worked out. And tomorrow I've got to make sure that I videotape our adventures, so I think that it's gonna be really fun. This guy, Rasta Franklin, he's been a great find here. Excuse me, just had a potato chip and I got it stuck in me. All right, you guys take care, be safe, and as always, I'll see you on the one.